This is your Xbox controller, and this is what Microsoft is not telling you. Green LED, blue LED, red LED built into the controller. Since the Series 2 controller came out, we've taken apart hundreds of these dudes, and there are some secrets inside here that no one else is telling you about. And so today, we're gonna get inside here and show you some cool stuff. What's up guys, I'm Nick, the owner of 7 Watts, and we make the best mod controllers and other gaming products. And today, we're gonna dig inside this Elite Series 2 controller and show you some pretty cool stuff inside. So we're gonna start with a fresh Elite controller, just to show you guys. And we'll start with the outside of the box. So we've got your lot number right here. Now, the relevance of the lot number is gonna come into play a little bit later. But it's mostly to do with the failure of certain issues. Like some people are having A button issues. The buttons aren't pressing in right. If you get on there's a big Reddit thread that's talking about that, and there's certain lot numbers that have a lot of failures. It's usually right around here, the 1940 mids. A lot of 1948s are problems, but that's just the lot number. Another thing you can see on this side of the box is the product code right here, the SKU. Okay, so it's really interesting what Microsoft has done here. There's different SKUs for different country codes. You can see we've got FST 4 zeros and a 1, we've got 4 zeros and a 3, FST 3, and then FST 8. FST 1 is pretty clearly your English code, and there is FST 1, FST 3, 5. I haven't found a 7, 8, and 9. Now FST 1 and 8, as you can see, are the same and different from this one. So FST 1 and FST 8 seem to be like US coded, whereas FST 5 and FST 3 here appear to be some type of international code. You can see all these international different languages here. Some of it, maybe Canadian, some of it maybe, European like this, but it's all the same controller inside. There's also FST 9, which is, I believe, the Japanese edition. So all the exact same unit, but different country codes, and they will also have different lot numbers. So this one here is a 1935 lot, and this one here is a 1934 lot. So these two were made a lot closer together than this one. So a lot of people talking about their button issues will go to Best Buy and return their A button issue controller, and they'll get a controller that came in a case right next to theirs, and they'll have the same issue because they were made 2 seconds apart on the same assembly line. Whereas if you get one with a different lot number, it's very probably not going to have the same issue. So it's tricky to fix when you're returning to Best Buy, but that's just some free info for you. Another little thing that Microsoft has done on these that's kind of interesting is for tracking purposes, on some of these boxes they have the dealer number stamped in, and another serialized number here to track where these controllers have come from or where they're going. Part of that is because they don't want randos getting these controllers and then undercutting the MSRP on like eBay and other dirty channels. Also, you got some of that same information stamped here on the controller. You got that TRA, and then you've got a registration number here and a dealer number here, and then you have the serial number laser etched in there. So all of these controllers kind of go out in lots, and they have tracking on the back so that if something screwy is going on, Microsoft can track it back to a dirty dealer or something like that. So opening this dude up, all right, so here is where we've had a lot of questions, controversies. You can see in our first teardown look video, we didn't know what that was either. Some people have called it a microfiber towel. It does kind of have the same feeling as a lens wipe, but dude, just what this is it's to protect the controller from these bumps. So in shipping, all you do is you pull it off, and then that's it. You're done with it. So you just pull that dude off, and it's good to go. So it's just to protect the controller from when in shipping it doesn't lock in perfectly and it sits a little off to the side, from pounding the back of that case and kind of damaging your underside. But that's the great mystery here. It's just to protect the deal from shipping. It's just a packaging thing. It's kind of interesting that Microsoft didn't talk about it at all, didn't put like a, hey, remove this sign on there or anything like that. But yeah, that's what that is. So mystery solved there. Another interesting thing, this has its own part number. It's got its own model number. If you look on the box here, you have model 1797, which is the controller. And then you have model 1924, which is this dude. So that's kind of the first time we've seen an accessory have its own model number. I assume that means Microsoft is going to sell it all by itself. So another little tidbit there. Pretty much everything about this you already know. I am going to talk about the swapability with respect to the Elite Series 1. A lot of people are asking, okay, the thumbsticks, what's, the thumbsticks, the paddles, what's swappable? The long and the short of it is all of the parts are interchangeable between the Elite Series 1 and the Elite Series 2, except for the thumbstick parts. So the D-pads and the paddles are all swappable between the Elite Series 1 and the Elite Series 2, but the thumbstick tops aren't, because these have 3 spikes inside there and these have 4. It's a 4-cammed system versus a 3-cammed system. I'm going to show you how to take this apart now. How you take this controller apart. I use this tool here. You want to pop in here, kind of get down inside and then pop up, pop over to the side, you loosen a tab there. Pop over to the side, loosen the tab there. You don't want to shove this way because there's something that you'll break. And then, so once you're inside, you want to kind of lift that dude up. And once you're lifted up, this is just kind of a strong hands job. You just rip that dude free. Doing it the first time yourself, it won't be that easy. It will be much harder than that. But I've done hundreds of these, and so now it's easy. Also, when you're removing this faceplate, these dudes are really flexible and bendable, so you don't have to be afraid that you're going to break it. You can manhandle that pretty hard. So that's all there is to that. Like we said in our other video, there's simple, fast ways to remove the thumbsticks. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. Everything you need to know about the thumbsticks. So this is our 7 watts T8 screwdriver for removing that. Another thing that you might not know about these is to take them apart. There's a hidden screw under here. You pop through that like I did to get inside. So one of the other things about this Series 2 controller that you might not know is that the formerly called sync button is now called the bind button. Just kind of something simple, small, and probably insignificant for marketing purposes that Microsoft did. So in our instructions, we're kind of using that language interchangeably, but they call this the bind button instead of the sync button. Now, one of the other things you might not know about this controller is sometimes these buttons have issues. It seems to be that the shell of the controller, the tolerances just aren't right. They did the mold wrong, and so, or they put the coating on there and they didn't calculate for that. So in some lot numbers, the buttons get physically stuck and they don't want to press down nicely. It seems to be a physical issue, not an electronics issue. Just because on their first release, there have been controllers with button pressing problems. That's not something that's going to persist through all of the Series 2 controllers. I'm sure at Microsoft they've already fixed this issue and they're mortified that the button pressing is a problem. Like I said, there's certain lot numbers that have problems, but in manufacturing right now, I'm sure that they fixed that and are testing for that, because for every controller that they've got to return because somebody screwed up with, the button pressing being a problem, they're not making money. I'm sure in the years to come, as they keep producing these Series 2 controllers, the button pressing is not going to be an issue anymore. It's not a structural problem like the bumpers were on the Series 1. It's not a complete structural problem where they'd have to rebuild the controller. It's literally just a production problem where some stuff got screwed up on the production line. A lot of people are worried about the battery not being replaceable. They don't want to, you know, drop dime on a new controller like this and then some years down the road to have the battery life go to absolute hell. Well, good news is if you can get inside the controller like this, if you can take it apart, the battery is easily swappable. It's not soldered in place, nothing like that. It's pretty much just plug and play as long as you have a great screwdriver set like this, which we sell on Amazon. Another thing that I want to point out is that these bumpers are much stronger than any other Xbox controller that's ever been made. A lot of people are worried about the bumpers breaking because the Elite Series 1 had some bumper breaking issues, but these bumpers are much, much stronger, and we've got a whole video just about those bumpers, so you can feel free to go ahead and check that out. We also have a video just about the thumbsticks and how they're different, redesigned, and whatnot. You can also check that out. But it seems to be the case that Microsoft completely rebuilt this from the ground up and took care of most of the problematic issues in the previous ones, like bumpers breaking and thumbstick drift issues. Now, that's not to say that you won't occasionally have a faulty controller with an issue like that, but for the large part, by and large, these are improved. We're gonna get inside here and show you how to swap the battery. So your battery is housed right in here. We're gonna get out our 7 watts T6 screwdriver, and there's just a few small T6 screws holding this cover in place. Okay, we remove this battery cover, and there's your battery. Try to leave those sitting in place, and it just pulls right out. So that's your battery pack. Really easy to replace. We probably just did that in less than 5 minutes if it wasn't for my long-winded talking. Super easy to replace. So no worries on your ability to replace the battery in the future. So something else about this controller, this is a Mongoose because it was codenamed Project Mongoose. That's built in on the inside of it. Long story short, this controller is much better than any other Microsoft controller that's been put out to date. I'm a huge fan of it. Really looking forward to bringing you guys tons of modded versions of this. And if there's anything else that I haven't covered in this video about this controller that you want to learn about or know about, comment down in the comments and we'll shoot a video on it and let you guys know. Some people have been asking about how to, take care of this controller so that the battery lasts for a long time. Basically, this battery is bulletproof. It lasts for 40 hours of gameplay, which is literally forever. So honestly, guys, I really wouldn't trip about it. You can keep it fully charged. These batteries have no memory, so you don't have to worry about completely discharging the battery and then charging it. It's a lithium polymer battery, so at any point you can charge it and you can charge it fully. So there's, really no issue there. You can keep it topped off all the time, or you can keep it, middle of the range. Another little something about this controller that you might not know is that when the controller is fully charged and you've got it hooked up via USB cable, the LED will blink in kind of a slow, funny pattern. Controller's on, the system's on, and the indicator LED for the charging is gonna pulse like that. Right now, this controller is fully charged. That's another thing that you guys might not know. When this controller arrives from Microsoft, the battery's fully charged. You don't need to worry about charging it. It's good for 40 hours of gameplay before it needs a recharge. But if you plug it in with the cable, it will kind of pulse like that when it's in a fully charged state. So now that we've unplugged it, that charging indicator is no longer blinking. So here we have a Elite controller. I know it looks kind of stripped down, but we haven't done anything except remove the thumbsticks and tie a few wires to it. And we're about to show you Microsoft's little secret. So inside behind here is an RGB LED, and we've got a wire connected to the red LED. And all we're gonna do is connect it there. So that's just built inside. There's the R red LED. There's the green LED. There's the blue LED. So we don't know what Microsoft is waiting for to activate that. Really, all it will take is a software update, and you'll be able to change your LED color in your Elite Series 2 controller. Everything's built into it. It just needs to get turned on. So just to show you again here, there's red, blue, and green. Green LED, blue LED, red LED. Why aren't you able to turn those LEDs on now? We don't know. All we know is all of the hardware is in place and it just requires a little software update to be able to do it. Ooh, there's all three of them on at the same time. You guys can't even appreciate how bright that is. It's super freaking bright. But yeah, tell us what you think. Okay, so we are pairing this Elite controller with my cell phone. This is a Pixel 3 phone, Bluetooth turned on. I'm gonna click pair new device, and here on the controller, I'm gonna hold the bind button for 3 seconds. It starts blinking, they talk, I select that. And now they're mated up. That's kind of neat. You can kind of go through here and screw around with stuff. You can go through your apps, open a calculator, go back, do a Google search. So you can kind of screw around with different stuff here. So that's neat. It clearly has its limitations, but you know, whatevs. To remove it, I'm going to just forget it. Forget the device. And so now it's, now it's unpaired to anything. Another quick something, little something you probably don't know. The fastest and easiest way to pair a controller with an Xbox is actually with the USB cable. So here at the shop where we test hundreds of these controllers at a time, it would take forever and be super annoying to hold the bind button and then press, the sync button on the Xbox and wait for them to start talking. So the fastest way to do that is just to hit it with the USB cable. It instantly syncs up, you disconnect it, it'll flash for a second, and now it's talking back and forth wirelessly. So using the USB cable to sync up is the fastest, easiest, and most efficient way, especially if you've got, the cable sitting right there. You can also pretty easily connect the cable to your Xbox with the USB port that's on the side of it. So guys, hope you found this video helpful. If so, let us know. And if there's anything else you want us to cover on this Elite Series 2 controller, comment and let us know. Now, we've always got cool stuff going on YouTube here and on our social channels. So go ahead and follow us here and on our socials so you don't miss out. So go ahead and subscribe here and on socials and enjoy your day. God damn it, enjoy your fuck.